these set of offenses were really not you. You don't have any criminal background. And I'm just, can you talk a little bit about that?
It's hard to describe like how you can become so desperate that you'd be willing to rob a bank when never committing a crime before that. I can't blame it all on the drug. I was the one who couldn't stop. I knew the right thing was to go to rehab, take an extended break and try it. But I was so focused on trying to keep my life together that I couldn't see the big picture, and I failed. I thought all I need right now is money and I can fix these problems, but my problems were much deeper than money. So somehow I convinced myself that robbing a bank was the best way to keep my life going. And obviously that was the best way to end my life.
Right.
I can't even explain it. It was absolute insanity.
And I heard on top of that, I heard what you said about your daughter.
Yeah, that was, I thought November 17th when I robbed that first bank was the lowest point in my life. But then 9 days later, I took my little girl with me. And that was the most disgusting thing you could ever do as a parent. I mean, why? She didn't know what was going on. She was just riding in her car seat coming with me. But looking back, I can't believe I would even do that. As a father, you're supposed to protect them. And I failed.
Yeah. And I'm glad you recognize that. And the way you talked about programming with voices and such, it's a good thing that you did that. Get that. 2 of your tickets, 2 of the 4 have to deal with substances. And you talked about, you talked about your recovery plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you scoped out any meetings?
No, I don't. I don't have access. Well, actually, I probably could ask the people here at Tier 4 where the meetings in Hartford would be. I just don't know which halfway house I'm going to. So obviously, when I get to whichever halfway house it is, I will choose the meetings around there.
Yeah.
Make it as most convenient as possible. And when I get to Stafford, I used to check out the Panthers Club in Manchester. But I'm sure there's some in Stafford I could go to also. I don't know. I wasn't big into taking it seriously when I was out there, so this is going to be a whole new chapter.
Okay. So a couple of things. One, have you talked to anybody in Tier 2 or 4 about a recovery coach?
No, I have not.
All right. So they know, the addiction services people right there know about recovery coaches.
Okay.
And it's somebody that when you're released has a lot of resources to help you get connected and would know the area and such. And there's a C-CAR Recovery Community Center right there on Main Street in Willimantic.
Okay.
Where they're open all day and some nights with meetings and such. So it would be a good place to get connected.
Yeah, right down Route 32. I know the area.
Yep. So I just I appreciate your attitude and about what happened, your commitment to change, and programs that you've taken, and of course, like I said to begin with, your service for it. So thank you. I have no other questions about Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay, I just have a few questions on my end. Nothing. You answered a lot of my questions with your statement. Thank you so much for your statement. Again, thank you for your service as well. Good morning as well. I'm just trying to understand, you're taking tier two and then you got your two tickets. What happened? What happened?
So the honest answer is, I was working there for 18 months and you get a real good relationship with your coworkers, you know, like they almost forget that you're an inmate and you're treated as an equal. So when I found out that my original parole hearing was scheduled for after Christmas, a coworker was like, "Keep your head up, Joe. You're going to be all right, man." And we had a drink together at work. So, you know, he knew that I was eligible to see the board October 1st. And it was a hard blow to know that I was going to miss another holiday season with my family. I'm not blaming anybody. You know, it is what it is. The hearing date was set for the hearing date, but it was just a moment of humanity with a coworker that I should have said no to, knowing that I had substance problems.
That would concern me because you're gonna run into those situations outside. I mean,
Absolutely.
Wait, did I miss something? So. But he said,
let me finish my thing.
no, I'm just, this is a part of what.
Oh,
you said,
okay.
About he said. He thought his parole hearing was supposed to.
It was 6 months before April.
October 1st was my first time I was eligible for a parole hearing.
Oh, I see, you've done your interpretation.
Okay. Then,
And so that led to some sort of frustrating moment. That then, this person that you were with asked you to, I mean, how did you end up taking the drink?
He brought it to work and was like, "It's all right, man. Let's just take a break. Let's just calm down and everything's going to be okay." And
Is that what you learned in tier two? That would be okay if somebody gave you?
no, that was not the correct, that was not the correct application of what I learned. That was the reminder that I needed to stay focused on my recovery. Like I said, you know, it doesn't just happen with clean time. It takes work and diligence. And I had forgotten that. I did the wrong thing.
You understand my concern in this, though, right?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely.
Yeah. You were scheduled to take good intentions, bad choices?
So
What
I was scheduled to take that, but it was while I was in tier two. So it was scheduled for the exact same time. And they said that because I was taking tier two at the same time that I didn't have to take it, that Voices had covered it. They scheduled me for it.
You were taking it then, and you were discharged, though, right?
No, I never started that program.
We haven't done a second discharge. I assume that you were already taking.
No, sir, never started that.
Nothing else had happened. Something else had happened.
I was just scheduled for the same time.
See, that would concern me because the choice that you made to kind of take the drink, you know, would fall into that kind of categories. I mean, that program might have been better for you. I don't know. At this point. You
I
know.
understand.
And I'm also concerned that although I did hear some, you know, relapse thinking, I didn't hear a real strong relapse plan in your discussion with panel member Paul. So can you add anything to that? Any thoughts you have based on what we just talked about?
Right. So when I get to whatever area it is that I'm going to go to, you know, find a good home meeting with a sponsor, get into some kind of therapy, because I need to understand why I make the choices I make. You know, I know right from wrong, and yet sometimes I'm still willing to make the wrong choice when I know it's wrong. So hopefully someone can help me shed some light on why it is that, you know, I can just see the two paths and choose the wrong one. You know, I need a good sponsor who I can talk to and a good therapist who can help me understand why it is that I can do this.
Yeah, I hope you truly consider that because that's going to be significant and I really do think that good intentions, bad choices probably would have been a good program for you to be able to take. And at this moment, I don't have any additional questions. I'm going to pass it on to panel member Page. Thank you though for answering my question.
Yes, sir.
thank you, Sir Chair. So good morning once more, Mr. Mayor. I do apologize for interrupting the chair during this question. I just really was trying to make sure that I understood what it was that you were saying. And it baffles me because, just because your, hearing was supposed to occur 6 months prior to your eligibility, doesn't mean that if you were heard earlier, you were going to be released earlier.
Because of my special parole, it was dictate whether or not I could be in a halfway house. That was the main concern, whether I was gonna make a halfway house.
Okay, and so you made the halfway house though, right?
I was eligible, yes, but I couldn't go to it until I saw the board.
Right, but you had the halfway house in the bag, and then when you committed this offense, I mean, this ticket, when you got this ticket, they rescinded it,
That is
right?
correct. That is correct, ma'am.
But you were approved, and I mean, they were waiting for you to come before us to see what our decision was, and then, so you not only jeopardized your here today for discretionary parole, but you also jeopardized your release with the halfway house. I appreciate your enrolling in the Tier 4 program. I just don't understand why you have outside clearance, you have the facility's trust, and then I heard you say that your friend said, come on, let's have a drink or whatever, don't lose sight of whatever the goal is, but you also had alcohol inside your backpack and in your locker. He gave you all that?
No, it wasn't, it was just in my backpack, but it was the remainder of what he brought that day. It was, listen, I can't justify that. That was a terrible choice. And like you said, I blew it on many fronts. And I mean, that was embarrassing and it was shameful. I can't take it back, but I'm just trying to learn the best I can. I messed up. I definitely did.
I understand. And the reason why we grapple with these disciplinary infractions is because of the behaviors. You understand? It's not, okay, so it is legal to drink alcohol. We get that. But you knew the rules, just like you said, and you still broke the rules. And my records say that there were, you had in your locker, there was alcohol, and then there were 2 more in your backpack. Were they nips?
There were half pints.
You had 2 half pints?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a celebratory drink? Huh?
That's not a lot for us.
Well, what I'm saying, he said it like, okay, we're taking a sip, take the edge off, and that's 2 half pints.
Well, they were still full when he found them. They weren't consumed. It was, like I said, it was a moment where I should have never taken it. And
Yeah. No,
it wasn't like I had a stash in my locker and a stash in my backpack. It was the remainder of what he brought, and
should have said no. So
I should have said no.
once you got ready to go back to the prison, you would have brought the alcohol back into the facility, I'm taking it, right?
No, absolutely not. 18 months,
So
I never brought a single thing into that facility.
You would have drank all of that before you went back to the facility?
I can't say because my cup was still full when they found me. You know what I mean? I wasn't sitting there pounding it. I took the sip with the guy and all of it was still in the backpack. It wasn't like I was intent on, sitting there getting as drunk as possible to drown my sorrows.
I understand that. So why didn't you just allow him? You should have just said, just keep it. So what were you going to do? Pour it out before you were returned back to the facility? I'm trying to understand what your intentions were.
Yeah, I didn't have any intention. It came on pretty quickly, and who knows? Maybe I would have just gave it to somebody else. I don't know. I mean, I've never brought anything back to the facility, so I wouldn't have started with a bottle of liquor. That would have been absolute insanity.
But it was insanity for you to go to a bank and say, give me your money to support your habit. It was insanity to have your kid, a 3-year-old, in a car seat while you left her in a car to go into the bank to rob the bank. more money so that you didn't get dosing. You know, it's the behaviors, Mr. Cormier, that are concerning. Your inability to decipher. I'm not gonna say you can decipher right from wrong. But my issue is that even that when you know it's wrong, you continue to partake, you know? I heard you say in your discussion with my colleague that you said, I'm gonna just go ahead and take tier 4 because I'm here, I'm gonna make the most of it. And I'm questioning now the true reason behind your enrolling in that program. Was it because if you complete this program successfully, you'll be reconsidered again for a halfway house? Because you said to my colleague, you know, well, I can finish my treatment in the community if I'm approved for a halfway house, I'm going out. So I'm questioning your authenticity in terms of your desire to truly take advantage of the treatment that's there and available to you in the facility so that you can be successful when you're out in the community. And I know that was a whole long-winded question, but do you care to share your thoughts on that comment?
I guess, you know, I'm not perfect, and
We're not
I know
asking you
that-
to be perfect.
I know you're not. I know you're not. It's just that I have made, you know, a lot of growth from the person I was in 2014 to the person I am now. That person who was willing to, you know, go into a bank and rob it, and the person who made a poor choice and had a drink with a coworker, they are both poor choice makers, but not to the same degree. You know, I have truly spent all this time absorbing who I was and who I want to be, and the people around me who are important, who I want in my life and who I don't want in my life. And I guess I can't just tell you with words how much I've changed and how much I want to change.
You see some change. It's just even in your growth, it's like you sabotage yourself. You're your own worst enemy. You
I
know,
have self-sabotage my entire life. I know. That's why I need to talk to a therapist. You know, why do I do that?
Yeah, why do you do it? And you know, and so tell me what happens here if you're denied your discretionary parole request.
What can I do? I continue on with the tier 4 program, and I keep my head up, and I know that eventually my EOS is in September. So if the worst case scenario is I have to do it, and so be it. I mean, I put myself in here, so I'm going to have to accept the consequences, whether you say yes or no. I understand that I'm here for it, and I put myself here for it. So whatever you guys say, I will take it in stride the way I have these past 9 years.
I was just curious, you know, because in life we all experience disappointments, and I just was wondering how you would handle, you know, being denied or any adverse situation that you're faced with going forward. And so I'm glad to hear you say that you would just keep going on. I'm not sure that is exactly what you would do because of the behaviors that you displayed previously. And it's not to negate the work that you're doing for yourself. It's really not. It's just I'm grappling here. I'm teetering on the fence because I hear what you're saying, but your actions don't really show. You know.
I understand.
Okay. All right. I'm off that. Thank you, Sir Chair. Thank you for speaking with me.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Cormier, we're not going to deliberate your case. We ask that you remain quiet while we do that. And we'll get back to you with a response, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Paul?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Mr. Cormier has no criminal background. He rates out low across the board based upon the scores assessment would go out in their minimum supervision based upon his history and such. while bank robbery is not acceptable at all, this was a case where he walked into two different banks and passed the note. There was no evidence that I saw of any kind of weapon. He also, he feels great remorse for the fact that his daughter was in the car the second time he did that. Has a good background, although he would need recertification in HVAC if he wanted to go through and do that. There's no doubt in my mind, based upon how he did it at CNC, that he could do that if he wanted. As well, pursued aerospace has an opportunity for him when he goes back out. He has support from his mom and dad, Stafford. He has an understanding of recovery in that he would like to be able to go to meetings, get a sponsor, go to therapy, and all of those things that are related. I heard questions from other board members, and I can appreciate the questions. I can also appreciate the complexity of addiction. And, a relapse is a space and time. And to go from 2016 to 2023, 2016 was the Pruno ticket. 7 years later, the piece of drinking, which he lost the outside clearance and got a transfer. After that, he did do work with the Veterans Unit at Sedbolski, which is a really good program. And based upon what Mr. Cormier has said, he rose to the level of leadership, which what I see is there's no doubt that that's the case. The question he had about, I don't know why sometimes I make the choices that I make. It goes right along with addiction thinking. It's like every minute of every day. It's like don't drink, don't drug, go to meetings and do the next right thing. And for people in recovery, we need to remember that every single day so that we make the right decisions. But when we make the wrong decisions, which was the case at Pursuit, when he chose to, I don't know what he was going to do with 2.5 pints. That's not a lot when it comes to things that I've seen before. But the mere fact that you had alcohol, that he had alcohol, and Frank, it is concerning. But I also think that he deserves an opportunity in the community with supervision. And his date is April. Could be that he goes out on halfway house. But we've also it's been since September. So 4 months ago, the relapse happened. I think that he understands the importance. And I would support his parole in this case.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm struggling just a little bit with this. He's in a structured environment right now. He's not able to access the drinking, and even with that, on the outside, he did. In a moment of frustration, what happens when he's outside and he's having to deal with the things that are going on the outside and the demands that are going to be placed on him on the outside. So I'm concerned about that. He had taken the jig to still, just did not, it didn't work for him. I mean, obviously it didn't work for him, based on his actions. Personally, I think he should continue as tier 4. Maybe that would help give him a little bit more insight. He clearly said that his, challenges have been making bad choices. And he had a chance to take good in terms of bad choices, take it, which
Well,
may or may not have helped him. I don't know.
they want the tier, in the facilities, the tier 2 program is comparable to the kitchen bad choices. So they have, so if he
Well,
would make the good intentions, he wouldn't have done the tier.
Yeah,
When the tier, he does the tier, good intentions. At least that's my understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, they changed it now so that we can take,
Oh, you can take both? Okay, I didn't
but
notice that.
there was a period of time where that was the issue.
Okay.
So,
so in any case, I mean, that leads me back to, the challenge of not making clear choices for himself that would impact something. I'm struggling right now with, but also I want to acknowledge that he has made some growth and he has made some progress and he has done some good things while incarcerated. And he has taken some mentorship role in some of this programming. And he's taken some good programming as well. He's taken some very good programming as well. I'm concerned about that. I mean, that one slip really concerned me because, he was headed back to the environment he was in, still, went through with it. I don't know. I'd like to hear from Councilmember Page, but I think at this point, I would be willing to grant discretionary parole today, but some real strict supervision around the alcohol situation. He would be brought right back if he get caught, but I'm still challenging.
So thank you, Sir Chair. So for me, Mr. Premier said a number of positive things here today. One of the things he said is, today am the healthiest that I've been. And I agree with that because he was using drugs intravenously. And whether we like it or not, alcohol is a legal substance to partake in. Unfortunately, it's not, condoned in a controlled environment and with his status. But, my concern with him is not truly the alcohol piece. One of the other things he said is that his transformation is not complete. I don't think any of our transformations are complete. And so I can appreciate that as well. Just his ability to reflect on where he is right now. He acknowledged, listen, I don't make the best choices. Guilty as charged. Listen, we're all challenged with things like that. But the difference is that our decisions that we make as board members don't lead us into prison. So, although I absolutely hear the Mr. Premier's desire to do better, and I encourage him to continue working towards that. It's going to be a daily challenge, just like Mr. Cole said. However, given the fact that he is now enrolled in a tier 4 program, it's my understanding, after we met with the substance abuse heads there in the facility, that when a person is engaged in tier 4, it's kind of, especially if they want that participation, I think it's irresponsible of me as a board member to interrupt that treatment. And I think that, especially because I think that it would be beneficial for him to complete it. But I'm under the impression that if he say finish the program here today, even though he's not eligible until April, if we say finish the program, and he's approved for a halfway house, I'm thinking that he's just gonna go to pathways. So, go
can we
ahead.
talk about that piece for just a second?
Sure.
So, his being in tier 4, as I'm looking at it, correct me if I'm wrong, is a voluntary piece. It's not on his OAP.
No.
So I just, it was a positive decision that he made.
Yeah, no, I do understand what you're saying, but again, I'm grappling with why he's taking it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if it's because he truly wants it or because it's a good look. You know what I mean? So, and I appreciate your input, Mr. Cole. I just think that I would not vote in support of his parole today. But I would vote, because he has 5 years of special parole, to have him finish that program and then come back to us. But unfortunately, I'm thinking that he'll be gone. So that's where I am. I would like to see him finish that program. He's not eligible until April from us. If he did the program and came back, I would love to see, what he's on. He said, I just started the program. He literally just started. So that's where I am. I wouldn't support it today. I would not deny him full out either. I would support his coming back. So that's my approach.
I mean, for me, I just don't, I understand what you're saying. It's just my insight is that he has what he needs to go out and begin to do what he needs to do. I think mental health evaluation and treatment is deemed necessary would be a good stipulation, so that when he hit parole, they would send him, and if they deemed that he would need additional treatment, I mean, he would be recommended to a substance use type of thing. It's like,
You mean like continue treatment in the community, that so like if they figure that it's something that needs to be addressed like one-on-one, that they would refer him to some. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying.
it's like the thing with it as well is like, if he were out in the community and what happened, it would be a graduated sanction, which wouldn't be a revocation and reincarceration.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I'm, if he's gonna finish, if he's gonna not be halfway house approved, that's up to DOC,
Right.
but I don't see the necessity to hold him, given, the distance between 2016 and 2023. And it's not, and when in 2023, thank goodness he got stopped again, right? Because on November 17th, 2014, he got stopped. And it wasn't a choice that he was capable of making that. And so, he's alive.
Yeah.
He's got a daughter, he's got a father that's gonna come home. But I wouldn't be favorable. And just like see what happens.
You're in favor of being,
Right.
and I'm in favor of it.
Mr. Protest, and to what I'm saying, it's not the alcohol piece that's my issue. It's the decision making around it, not
Absolutely.
because if he was like, it's legal. What would we do? He's not an alcoholic. He's an addict.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying. But thank you for not talking it out, because this is what we do, Mr. Cormier. Sorry. So.
And it's to your benefit, to be honest with you, because you're trying to figure out the best way to make this work for you.
I totally understand, sir.
Okay, so it's so there's a motion to grant discretionary parole for Mr. Joseph Cormier, inmate number 406611, effective April 1st, 2024, with the following conditions: no alcohol, no, he's running the mile.
Yeah.
Mental health evaluation, treatment as deemed necessary,
General stay away.
and general
First land or bank.
contact.
3 from general stay away. Right. First Niagara Bank, 348 Hartford Turnpike in Vernon, and 11 Phelps Way in Wellington.
Good. You say that for me already. Anything else? Hearing nothing else, is there a second?
So,
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed?
Okay.
It's a majority decision. So, Mr. Cormier, you were granted discretionary parole today by majority decision. Hopefully you will utilize this opportunity when you get out to do those things that you said you were gonna get done. And we won't see you back here again. And the best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
recovery coach.
Yes, sir. I will look into it as soon as I go back upstairs.
This includes the hearing for Joseph Cormier, committee number 406611.
Mr. Bo, I will.
Mr. Cormier, you're all set. You
Yes,
can exit the room now, okay?
Thank you.
All right, good luck.
It's